Welcome back. Today we'll be talking about LTX 2.3 again, but specifically the new director node pack made by What Dreams Cost. So I'm going to go through how to install it, how to get it to work, and using the example workflow, I'm going to be changing it out though for GGUF models instead of the checkpoint to run it on lower end hardware. And then we'll take a look at the generations made. And in the end, I'll go through a few thoughts I have about this node pack. So let's dig right in.
First thing you want to do is go to Nodes Manager and search for What Dreams Cost ComfyUI. This is the node pack. And what you also want to make sure it's latest or even better nightly if you can. There have been some issues with installing it via the node manager, but it should all be fine if it's on latest. Okay, we're going to apply the changes and restart. Now, if it looks like this for you right here, where you don't actually have the nice menu, you need to update ComfyUI. So right here, we're just changing the checkpoint loader to the GGUF loader because I prefer working with GGUF files. It's a lot less usage of VRAM. And now we're going to try to run our first generation. So for this generation, I simply took output images I already had and tried to make a story around it. For this one, I just chose some astronaut pictures that I made before, and I tried to make a little scene where they're running, and then it sort of goes to a futuristic city where these portals open up that are in the back of the image. It didn't work fully, but I am gonna show you guys in a second how it looks. Alright, so this footage is sped up by quite a lot, just so you don't have to wait for the generations like I had to. Now let's take a look at the actual first generation. So it's pretty intense, but I think it actually doesn't look too bad. And I did notice at the end it mashes up the scenes, the images a little bit again. This is a common problem with LTXV, and it just has to be cropped out, then it should be fine. Now here all I'm doing is asking Claude to make a story because I need a few prompts for the image. In this case, I made these 5 images. And once I had them, I put them back into the director, each image lasting 2 seconds. And I had a prompt ready in Claude for LTXV animation. And I put those in too. And then I generated this video. It is a 10-second generation, but it creates 11 seconds. This again, that 1 second at the end is that weird mashup artifact stuff you've seen in the first generation as well. So once we are finished here, I'm going to speed up the footage once again.
Alright, so this is sort of my second generation, and I just did this with Claude really quickly. I think it's a nice little mysterious 11-second generation. I think what is so powerful about this node is that you can plan stuff, you can change stuff, you can see stuff before you generate, so you can even switch around scenes. And I think that's really, really powerful to be able to tell a story with AI generations and also generate actual movies and not sort of singular little scenes that you would still have to kind of put together. I'm having already a lot of fun with this node. I think it's a great add-on to ComfyUI and to LTXV. The example workflow is a little basic though, but that is pretty much normal because it is supposed to simply be an example workflow. I'm going to take a look at it in the next few days and try to put it into mine. I think we could optimize a lot for speed. I think we might be able to do some kind of looping mechanism like we did for VAN 2.2 animate, and all of that should make it faster and easier to run on lower VRAM. I did not try it on my 3050. I am certain that if you choose something like Q4, Q2, you are going to be able to run it on RTX 3050 with only 4GB of VRAM, but that is really, really pushing the limits. All of my generations were done with an RTX 3060 that has a total of 12GB of VRAM. So I'm going to leave everything down in the description. If you can, please leave a subscription, leave a like, and I'll see you next time.